It's Week 13 of the National Football League, and we'll see this team's sure-handed wide receiver. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. Great game in store for y'all, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. Pretty nice effort.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to throw here. Forced out to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Flowers. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Looking middle, and that's complete. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. They'll set up a throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They'll run on first down. Flowers. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Flowers. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. The numbers for him from a week ago. 15 carries, 89 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll look to throw here. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground here on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. Second down and a little more than a yard here, as they've got it as we resume action. They'll send a receiver in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there, first down. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And he's got this down to the 35. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Slot man moves right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Up the middle they go. Flowers. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The visitors' offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he continues to be a nightmare for teams to defend in the red zone. You see the graphic. He's 2nd in the NFL in terms of rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd down and 4. And that's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. But he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack. And
it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball to make a big play. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught 11.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. On 3rd down. It's Flowers, and they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they'll send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over.
This offense back to work now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rolling to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'll throw now on the final play.
That one out wide and intercepted. He may go.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
No surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And his ability to use his legs has given the defense fits when trying to game plan. He's currently second in the NFL in rushing yards by a QB. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's brought down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Back to throw again. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
3rd and goal, option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They'll look to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half.
But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this out past the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now back to throw.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
On 1st down, Flowers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This is 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Flowers. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw here. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
This will be caught at about the 5. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete.
And he is going to be out of bounds, a couple of yards short of the marker, and they will fail to convert here on 4th down.
Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Now 2nd and 9. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And they love to find different ways to get him the football. We know that. And you can see he comes into this week 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards out of the backfield.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll look to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. They come up short here on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his big tight end here. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.